Video way I hear, baby. Yenim say, and she anya wanna be. So throw it be here. This is in no way condoning violence against women or men. Now that we got that shit out the way, shit it. Let him go.
A second president.
Yeah, mean you could gadgets no.
Feel
free. Say Mike no create here be. And if pepi akase gu. Shit.
A second president let say.
It's still super yeah.
Be a work.
Be a daddy.
Okay. First of all, walk us through Reggie Rockstone's typical day. Oh sorry. If I say no Tuesday, oh sorry then why
post Corona now say.
Oh,
before Corona because see no masses. Ejumara be dos.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's ain't Koro times.
Koro time dear. Some sorry. This trip in Paibo.
Okay.
Yes. As I say, me yam Ramadan cranty. My fasting, I pray, praise Jah.
No, hold on. Oh, yeah, Ramadan.
Yes.
Now, oh, you're Muslim.
No. But I always fast with the Muslims, Ramadan.
How?
I'm in my 5th year.
How? Explain.
It's spiritual.
Okay. Sir?
Yes, and it cleanses the soul.
Okay.
Okay. And me reason I'm why
wow.
You know, a detox be
okay.
And minya batarna menya kopon akasa. And I lay all my issues to Jah.
Okay.
It's very much
Reggie Rockstone, a Christian, and only
I was born Christian. Yes.
So now, as we sit, are you a Christian?
Yes, I am. Born Christian, yes, so I am.
Okay.
But religions, now I'm what I say gangs.
Oh, okay.
It's here the meaning coupon direct. Will be an ask the Crips and the Bloods now. If you follow them, I go confused. So no, not really.
Okay.
You know, I respect the teachings of Jesus. I listen to the teachings of Muhammad. I listen to Gandhi. I mean, maybe our knowledge will be my being.
Okay. Too sorry now, bonfire.
Yes.
Now, why then?
My bonfire na in college so see I say homeschooling. And you know, my mama
is saying.
Hey Charlie, that I see now guys my boss shows with baby. Oh yeah, yes. And oh na you Phoebe, Ricky, Zayda, and of course Reggie Zayda. That's the one born on my birthday. And I mentioned Phoebe and Zayda and Zuzu Zulea.
Okay. Now, say watching.
Yes, me ton watch. But yes, say me started ton watching yen.
How many years in
10 years now.
Wow,
10 years, yeah. Now, I say, in fact, nipa pi edi me watching, but I am surprised. Said this trip now, I'm say obi abeti, but minimum adugudin here about nessa. No, so you be
okay.
But me started. Enya watching kwana me ton. Me only me own pub. I have from her Rockstone's office.
Okay.
And I'm one another one a friend after work.
Okay.
And son I'm one another one a friend grandpapa's. Now you were menu or into your ton chips, your ton and yanya horo. But I say you're watching and I'm very glad. Said the one Ghanaian dish I was so no and nona obiape. It's you watch it dear say and you re obeba sa kwade eti ha obeba Eugene Nkonkonsa eti ha ene hwan Idris Elba DKP Gardner in fact all Grams Morgan enti for mo na munim chese mo na mo newcomers but God works in mysterious ways nature say adwuma no aso chase ye husupo nipa omoba this has been the biggest. In fact, you're breaking records.
Wow.
Yes.
We've never sold my figures.
And not the sister, but okay. But I mean, we're moving as much as 300 packs of watch a day. I've been looking for something different to do. Besides, you know, in Sano, I ton no yeah na me spirituality ne clash.
Okay. How can
Hameka it's been on my conscience.
Okay.
Nti I prayed over it. And that's no Nyankopon a year mama say yes abo no. Watching is my brand. And watching so no aduane a detete me so nyina no so me church room me maame video bi kra or church room senior Wache came into my life. So Wache has been in my life from Minkola Brim me papa right down to and CCR no I don't know.
Okay.
And we're trying to make it international.
Okay.
Senior more cool or jollof hono. And you who said there be watching no
Watching the
young argument bia. Now we will
na watching one sem na mamembra interview na ya shase no kasa wo so ye pani asa say omo baso no adwumtofo no any fans no asa respect no kofom obit me kan ye opetche social media dey bia uti ene wo hwede e koso social media industry nim den na obeka
so oba me Twitter and answer oba me social media oba fashijo I deal with the youth.
Okay.
So who see me ne nkola ne kasa e be ofe na enran no bi ka kire me say yawo nkola no omuntimi ne amachi dede ana say uncle ambule mon kasa sa and me say I am pa and I say I tell you the reason why they feel so free with you is because they forget how old you are.
Okay.
I carry myself with such a young demeanor. I'm young at heart. Inti I no mo refu mo ho. So on the cramage I grow online. Yeah, but me no me mind because I've been young before. Intimate youth ase.
Okay.
And na adwuma so am de buy no is youth oriented. Inti hip life, hip hop. You ne keka hwa me guy na metia. What is mama Jimmy Cool no on. Inti I na nkola no a lot of times they forget how old I am. Inti at times obit me can say who be na ma check and say hey me ba penyin kranyi say then they remember and they apologize or they come in my DM oh Charlie sorry oh blah blah and then you have monkeys and no dey am no on we there you know matia no mati into on dey you from super trolls on your badge is atem didi no also na pa ko didi no so be Canada and some of them need attention obu ohon ma ya say or kan kwase sem some ba jeje no so na omo jeje no so a e bia me yi na no a na wanya followers but me was adaje no okay times me te o menya hwe na odon ho aba na me so ma no I'm a rapper, I'm a wordsmith, I play with words and say me no call back and forth obi timi be di matter no ntimi spell obi say oh na me yi ama ma check o spelling am no afi obi s ro
okay na say assembly by me say radio interview bi o Hits FM no because tweety bibi about say so beto baba mo now say bibi
oh that was terrible
I mean what about to social media how did you feel when somebody made such comment about you or your daughter
I know in the history of Reggie Rockstone I think that would be the first time in the history of Reggie Rockstone in Ghana, West Africa to be precise. Man who say yaw medrada.
Yeah.
Mindrada. And I'd like to take this time out to apologize to all who were offended by my language. And no crime yifri hormo. But so be pa beba abeka oba ho asem me ba wadi 6. Na be ma utimi twro say unya Kiyam bomb me banner gala. Me banner. Yes, 6 years. I don't stress a Joe. Nah, I don't care. No, me can't say. And find me also a SM fan. And also a standing fan. No, so there be fan milk and family. And the me man. Now I'm gonna deal with him like I promised. Okay. Me paketwa. Na akola na all kind of wasem no. Ne grandfather. Ex-president of the country. Inti as no tell onye ni paketwa. Na ansana ne papa so. You know, I don't come from if you kiss you. Now onti me kasa rubbish like that. Na Nkonkonsa so jeje so. Instagram say he was only playing. When Nimia Harry he was only playing. Oh mo bin kasa asem nchire oba. Inti me yi man and still I'm looking for him.
Okay, Reggie, when you say inti me no nim komo ayem mo hip life so.
Yes.
Inti me ma 2 minutes.
Yes.
Tell us the hip life story.
The hip life story is, as I told you from way back, as you know it, me birthday 93, 94. Me buy na Ghana, omo rap or ha na mo be you, omo ye America, omo ye patois, and then keka ho. Na ya wo ye wa abrochi kra no. Ye who say I was here since I grew him. Yes, English is my first language. Tree kra mi
Wow.
Yes, I learned to speak Cree. Yes. And, you know, I'm a proper Kumasiano. I'm a British Ashanti New Yorker. Yes. It's many a day. And, you know, me befi no na, yabato say, a grana, no my area or British, you know, I be do feel. A Koswa. And me papa, may he rest in peace. Ricky Saintor said, the legend. Ono na, or sponsor Bibia, ticket cry, yeah, befi, no, no, Toma, buy. And you know, he's the one that built me the studio. He's the one that sponsored all the videos. Now, no, and no can't ask them to say, "Yo, don't call it hip hop. Jaisan, a bruche line. Let's do a hybrid, hip hop, high life, hip life."
Wow.
But yeah, Anthony Dinka,
papa, and papa.
Yeah, it was my father, myself. Yeah, my father and myself.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know, in Sri Lanka, but he was very good to me. You know, I'm gonna say, and I shot a cast some papa fee, and I'm permitting papa fee. Me that be original. Joe, trim there, me. You know, but my father died many years ago, and I inherited my father, and just like, you know, our president lives in his father's house. Now, I don't shall do animal. Anyway, but anyway, you know, so from there now, yeah, Anthony Dinkeke, any Jinemu. Musa years of a Jumano and now Obia Zabmal. I mean, you're Dawson, you know, soldiers into the big 6 war and I basically so because I came home in 93, 94.
Wow.
Yes.
Now buy na hip life na rap no be anyi bi Ghana.
No, no more rapping. Now some me grana me rapping. Japan, China, Obia rapping. I got the hip hop there, send it atini.
But na be tune din.
Me na me tune din, and na me so na me man ye fe. Okay. And na me so na me man she rap no. Some more kaya mahoni p din bem. Yeah. But no one to hip life. O ko hekra to no ayi high life and gangsterdom. Oh wow. Ti hip life no dear. Ye na tune bi. But e din no e no more ko ho na me sre. Because enye din no na ma agro no ye de. A juma na eta edinachi because you jinem how many years still cry you jinem so but Ghana you pensim
son who can say the issue of the originator of hip life a ba argument panjian of Naza babe kankakra now we have a kankakra godfather of hip life who is the originator of hip life?
He sat right here before you looking good. I am the originator, undisputable. You can go up, down, left, right, or center. You will not find an iota of proof from any one of them showing anyone. I'm going to say JW uncle. Who's uncle JW? He'll tell you, I didn't name it hip life. You know. Hey, yo, Swanky Kurata, Mr. R2G.
But I'm for no one, you be feel say,
oh, there be a yana cre, a nipa bakupe. Any pabako. Why? Panji, me
rapper.
There be on your rapper.
Muhuna, I am interviewing. A day pa na hip life I am Ghana.
Hip life has done almost everything, from radio to television.
How?
Everything. Employment. I mean, look at the music. Look at the soundtrack to the country. I mean, we have a colorful collage of artists today, from Patapa to you name it. It all, you know, all of these kids are employed now. People are employed. I mean, you look at my brother, Dr. Duncan. I mean, you could look at Bulla Ray had a huge hand in hip life. You ask him about his humble beginnings, hip life will be up there. KOD, everyone is a beneficiary of hip life. Inti nipa obakase asem no ati. Okay. Watipa. Because and yeah, kase still a rapper. Not one of our biggest musicians in the country is a rapper.
I don't know.
Sarkodie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of our biggest. I mean, in Africa, it's a rapper, and he's from here. Or no back. Not time on Mubusa Sarkodie say, yes, Nyamena me originator hip hop. I say, if I saw Nano I say, yeah, I quite say, what's I know? I know be a cashier. I say, oh, papa, your papa. God bless him.
Reggie Rockstone na ehia unti na to papa fie. And then Reggie Rockstone bet me a boasty of as in assets. Because a man for say, oh, there be a who now chika kitu e be then a Reggie Rockstone walk and kwala ni Range Rover.
Yeah.
And then Reggie Rockstone, what can you boast of having?
What I can boast, the media drama no actually many a be. And no man who we are in places I've been, people I've sat with, what I have seen, kubusa mechi. But what I can boast is not about material stuff, because I've never been materialistic. From day one, me see mu. I dear munim about Reggie and then me swag kakra, my friendliness, my good nature, my I'm open, I'm accessible. What I will brag about is that I am going down in history in my country and in Africa. I am revered, I'm respected, I'm loved by my people, but most of all, Nkwa.
Okay.
If you move, I am alive.
If you move,
sika de one more must move sika, one more voice casting omo. What am I say? Na yawo ewo him.
Okay.
That's another thing that you need to get straight.
Okay.
I was raised in a pretty affluent home. My father was not a millionaire. Well, some say he was, but my father was very humble, extremely humble. Mom nime papa. If you know my father's saint or say, you know my life. And na menya bragat. Ni pejiano any show no. So me call baby, I nya me cow. That be when I'm in the house. Now me new club no cry. No will be a show. And my feeling out. Now who strange over no wa park wa boy. What's the mass?
Yeah.
Enti anya sa no ma no. Na me esikafo me nim e wo me life. Me papa now for 4. I mean I've seen, but anya sa na meti. And I don't even like drive. Me kaka me jinchia sa me car no copy. Now you know what I'm saying? And then you look at my wife. Another thing that I boast about is my marriage.
Okay. And then Tikrana, who decided to be Ghana in the first place?
Yes. I was already in a group, PLZ. I was raised Pan-African.
Okay.
My father was a strong Nkrumahs. My papa no call hunger strike. Inti na ne yewo trade fair no.
Wow.
Yes, inti se mu twema me papa. Hono na ma ja trade fair ojo na hono mo fu. And my father being in Nkrumahs, he was like, no, not over my dead body. Inti me papa no cut na hono mo se on didi. Just on my bed.
Wow.
Inti oti hono mo we didn't buy TV so nyina.
Satama papa ye hwan Ghana.
Saint Reggie, the legendary fashion designer.
Wow. And on call one man.
Hunger strike.
Wow.
Okotna hono mo so ndidi. Na say wo mama do hono ma. He's going on a strike. Obi anya bi da. And now it is JJ mu nyina abedo bi.
Wow.
And now all the town for Labadi obi abe join here. Inti I come from these kind of roots. Pan-African. Inti no Panafest inti na me befi.
Wow.
Yes.
Afibeni.
93, 94.
Okay.
Yes. Ti Panafest ti me buy no. With my Pan-African point of view, not just at more Jumaye, and up to now.
Oh, but now I say Obeka.
That be, can I say, about 2 weeks? You be the time, no, but buggers, you have a slang them when you're sanko. But, divine intervention.
Would you say you are well appreciated by Ghanaians?
I would like to say yes. Do they show it enough? Maybe not.
Why?
But I say senior I'm not comparing myself, but I'm just saying we seem to have a small issue with gratitude, showing. I wouldn't even say it's not affection. What's the word? Appreciation. Okay. We have garnered a culture of PhD. That's the put him down syndrome. Now, in fact, I'm really because Brian bring is because of us. Yeah.
Nti ofo say idea na wo ho And as our social media na abamo.
Eya dia na ewo ho. The PhD na hye mu. Yes, hye mu. But social media no, sisia no manya voice quarters bi o motitem. No more chro. Nti nipa ni di watem oni say otimi change ni din kra na yi. At times kra wa nipa. No hu awia no we self. Judas pan ajo kokroko. Jesus lie. Nti no ayehu odwen ho a is very very deadly because it is a sin. You know, gossip, rumors, you know, pull them down. I bet some. Nti no, you know, you're cursing yourself. You understand and say quick smoke or better 200 packs of watching.
Quick smoke.
Wow. Or better or supporting in your business. You know. And I'll say the fans. Still a man forward Twitter I be within at them.
Wow.
Nipa told you any amawo.
Omo din atem say den.
Me hu po. Have you come at show. Hey, omo din atem. They insult am.
You know, we are influential. And then I'll be can actually Ghana for faster subaino because the guy say what body India man.
Yes.
Ghana be
G8. And yeah G8.
Just Ghana time.
G8.
Then I'll be catch Ghana for faster attitude.
Munja na time. Fire nkosi hwe. Okay, asami a make sisia mete obi hwe sisia G8 apai.
Obeye o.
Oye o se make asam no make asam munja G8 no wadwa. Yare bi.
So say ebetimi agai. Would
ever stop? This generation, this one's coming up. Ebetimi. Me feel it kwesi atamo. Me hwe Kofi Mulemo those guys Kidimo. O ma dwen da ho.
Okay.
Oh. It's the few of the, you know, but like I said in my song, if you remember the song, a legendary song that I did produced by Manson, and send you a me kind, but I'm a refi. I'm say, me bibiniba.
Okay.
Send you a no mean to me, Sada. Sa no subai na manabasa, and kasa. And I'm a kasa kaya. Oh, show business. It be more on my see. I'm benya kakra. Fancy ana jije moso. Play nature mu. But tie ene. Omo mo jije oso na more down o mo. A house me catch them. Me say show business. Memo think ko carry.
And what say?
And not say when you get up there, don't let your head get stuck in the clouds and forget the people down there.
Okay.
When you're bragging and boasting about all that you have, remember it's the people that gave you what you have. I am so humble to a fault. When I go out, I've never had bodyguards, nothing. It's me jinxia 1,000 crowd. Me I'm inside. What's him I say? I understand not everyone is like me. I'm from the old school. But humility will take you a long way, brother. And me watch you accept asama bra kan from mama beta mechi. Yeah, odo. What's him I say? And they know me. Yeah, they know me personally. Oh, asam BB. You talk to Reggie. Say bitch you know, so I take pride in my good nature. I take pride in my being a nice human being. What am I say? So yeah, I was here for a year.
Okay. Yes, would you say Ghana is a country to die for?
Yes.
When you
yeah, I'm not gonna die for Togo.
Ghana for I appreciate you.
Listen.
So you think you can die for the country?
They are my people.
Okay.
I love them.
Okay.
I love Ghana.
Okay.
This side is the bad side. We have a beautiful side to us.
Okay.
It's in the money of time.
Okay.
We are some loving, peaceful people. But everybody has faults, and this is ours. But it's just detrimental to us.
Okay.
It affects us more than we know.
Okay. I'm out for the Ghana to tour France and Nigeria and other African countries.
Yeah.
Almost say almost boosters. Oba okoko almost boosters chen oba Ghana the way you boost stars. Only ni pass ani again.
Yes.
Adentia.
It's called the Jesus syndrome.
Okay.
But Ghanaians have adopted the Jesus syndrome a little bit too much. Nigerians are extremely
Jesus syndrome. How about what you say?
Jesus no on one microphone.
Okay.
You know,
betrayal.
The betrayal.
Okay.
You know. But with Nigeria has a serious level of patriotism. What's the I say? Their level of patriotism is unrivaled.
Okay.
So, look, let me give you an example. A few years ago, if you spoke about Nigeria, it was about 419. It was synonymous with, but look what Afrobeat did. I hear PR now, Momo. And this is when you mention Nigeria, they're talking about Afrobeat. What am I say? Look, let me give you an example. This is Nigeria's young slogan. Nigeria no they carry last.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Ghana had a slogan like that? So patriotic. But instead, I mean, Stonebwoy got a song with Carrie Hills. Shatta does a song with Beyonce. It's not that. Yeah, but young somewhere.
Davido, Nicki Minaj.
Then everybody's on there. So Ghanaians are what we call in New York dick riders. That's what we call them, Bozak riders. You know, I want to shed light. And now, but they're not gonna, do for themselves, but they want to talk about the next person. And but apart from that, you watch here, you fufu there. Your ma, we're beautiful girls. Yeah. And we're smiley people. Look at you smiling. We're nice people.
Okay.
But the Honor not here.
Okay. I'm for show business, especially in Ghana. Celebrities here poppers who are here for who more kakra na obenya no wanhwe ni ye besa office sika wo show business more Ghana, especially music.
Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made.
People not just among for na hwe music so ye almost saving.
No, it's just like any other business. Okay. Like Nkonkonsa.com, it's a business. You run it well or you run it down. But say teku a kapra kra na obenya from what it is that you do. That's money. Okay. It's money that you earned. Why you say Jumano? Now, I say, asama opesa kind of say, show business in Ghana, it doesn't reflect the hype. The hype is so big. Yes, and but it's called show business. Murefi, show no.
I don't know
the show no. It's to be successful is to appear successful. Inti na okwa adwuma o share nice shirt and dress basa o nya adwuma make believe but in saying this at a dosage I choose not to be so say Corolla S na make uhumu real life and no na make car ba kwa me toy it was a Benz. You remember my convertible? Yes. And no na uhu e wo me video Reggie saka na mu no na media I'm not trying to go borrow somebody because uhu me obesere me I come as I am. Menyom na me pese uti. Enye me botom. Na me botom asem dey wasem. I don't know how you make your money. So how do you come into my life talking about I'm broke? I'm broke. If I'm broke, why are you happy that I'm not making money? You should be trying to make me make some money. But like I always say, I didn't come here. We're not even going to go into heaven with this money. We can't. So me would now. Enye me sika na mo bekai. But na sanka misika na mo de be kai me a mo ka se no e kwase mpanyi. Yeah. Unless I was very given.
Along a career line, where you Rockstone be dey kakra for a few years.
Yeah.
As a business now, especially after Glow deal.
Yeah.
Cash ni buy just also Rockstone.
Cash ni di ba.
You can bibi kakra for Glow deal no ho man. Na waka kwan of so a odi ra VIP mo a odi no VIP.
Well, first of all, my name has never ever been quiet in Ghana. For some strange reason, my name always comes in the conversation. It's more ding. I don't care how big you are. And I know why, because of hip life.
Okay.
I totally understand. The reason why I have mastered the art of staying relevant is because I am myself. I'm not trying to do something to trend. What's it I say? And no one is my bet now. I'm come as now. A dimpa no, and then I make a show. So what dimpa? Even at the hardest times, people will remember you. Inti so even when I was quiet, I na mem bonyom. Na me the billboards.
Yeah.
So mean that glow swap. We who more Guinness.
Guinness extra smooth.
So me need Guinness swap more Nigeria X Factor. Branding no. What's my say? But me no man bought me brand ne ho adwuma sa. It was natural. I am myself. People gravitate to me. And this is the reason why. So show me history. For the 25 years, I've almost remained relevant all through.
Yeah.
So me mbonyum kra bo humo TV so bo humo me ye bibi. Ana yeah. E bia no se sisi a meti he ya. Yeah, Cassie.
Tia no mu na we wadwen so be join VVIP.
There be VVIP joining. It started as a joke.
Okay.
I Twitter so.
Okay.
So I tweet no my yeah me.
Ayira.
Oh, so me sure say I'm out. Because he obenya.
Okay. What tweet is that then? Una tweet.
Me na me tweet is that time normally abetu dwa. Omo de abetu dwa say promise a free group. So for a long time no monka. Into a ban sa na me tweety joke say, hey, see I promise you free me there. I've always wanted to be a part of VIP. And that was it. And then Crawford started, hey, Cabefo, hey, that be. So my dreams, I'm a marketing. And I'm afraid, me, Zeal,
yeah.
I'm catching Zeal, said Joe. See, I know. Say me by joining group now. Social media will go crazy. It be better attempt. It be better support. But it be a crazy hype. See, I hype na Nkola ni di agro no. Nti no, still I am ho efe. Mo so come rap anya den ma me. E ma chede. 3 heads. Me knew money, you know, I've known them since they were teenagers.
Yeah. It's like combining two brands.
Yeah. 3 na obi aso nya bi da. And me no me per challenge. Otimase. Me pe bibia challenge. Ade am Ghana beka se mint me nya no. Eno na me ye.
Nti amanfo say Reggie Rockstone penning toto na uko joining Nkola group
na dey. Time me buy omo di my terms Share. Any a day me buy amanfo say de but here kan na amanfo bi susu ta mechi. Nti omo ka say na you release it nyom no. You release it nyom no afi obi na ID. Skolom. Ba. Selfie. Ba kanya aggressive for community selfie. Yeah. Selfie. Come on, because you intro photo.
What no who does all joining VIP?
Debbie.
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
It's actually a historical moment in Ghanaian history.
As I say, I can say the VVIP ni who?
No, just say Ate.
Okay. No, but VVIP
of course, it's a brand.
Okay.
It's a solid brand.
Mrs. Reggie Rockstone.
Join
us here. And we welcome Mrs. Obo. Obo Bayre. Obo Bayre.
I can remove it.
Oh, yeah. Feel free. Maybe I think the corona ni ho. Social distance.
Let's have.
No.
Mama didn't come again.
Zola, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Want to hear from you. How did you meet Reggie Rockstone?
Eugene. You didn't. I thought this was a watch story.
David. Watching but do our you and register one monk.
The real meetup or the preliminary one?
The real one.
Don't mind him. I don't even understand you. Don't mind
him. Okay, Reggie, count the end first.
Don't mind him. So the very first time we met was at Boomerang, okay?
Which year is this?
I was in Legon. So I was in Legon between 2000 and 2000. So I think 2000 somewhere, in the year 2000, yes.
Okay.
So we went to party girl, partying with my friends. We went to Boomerang, and at that time, Black was there. Black was in Legon as well.
Okay.
And so, and we loved dance hall. So at Boomerang, and I went, I know, right? So I went to request for dance hall from Blacks. When I got in, Reggie was there. And so Black introduced, so Reggie music. Okay, I said hi, blah blah. I did my
DJ Black made time introduction.
Initial Black first.
I know what this cool.
Oh, maybe I got
okay. But that one was the first unofficial. You know, it didn't really mean anything. Okay. I just came back out, came to hang with my friends. I didn't even tell my friends. You know, and then that was it. But then the real meetup was at Salisbury.
Okay.
So it so happens that for some reason, people we knew, mutual friends we knew, just somehow knew or felt that Reggie and I would get along together.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes. So they kept telling Reggie about this person called Zilla, and he would like me in the physical space because I was I was very busty those days. I don't even know where they went. Ask me. I don't know where the books went. And then but then not even the physicals, because I was a party girl. I was always going out and stuff like that. they just felt that we'll get along. And I think he started asking, and everyone he asks who knows me, like, oh yeah, like sort of. So now he was curious. He wanted to know who this person was. But in my small corner, nobody had come to me to tell me anything. So I was clueless. I swear. And I was clueless.
Wow.
So we go to Salisbury one of these days. It was a friend's birthday. At that time, I was dating someone else. That's why he thinks I won't say. I was dating someone else. Yeah. And so we go to Salisbury and we are all sitting there. When I see Jawai, Max, and I hadn't seen Max in ages. Once upon a time, Max and I were working in the same building after SS. So I hadn't seen Max in ages. So Max comes, says, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And of course, he knows at that time, Max was hanging a lot with Reggie. Yeah. So he knew that Reggie was looking for someone called Zilla. Oh, wow. So Max runs in to go and tell Reggie that the woman you are looking for is outside. Me, I don't know. I'm sitting with my friends. We are there chilling. When Reggie Rockstone walks up to me and I've been looking for you. I'm like, who? I'm like, so I'm sitting there looking like, yeah, right. Like, who? Me? You're looking for me? It's like, yeah. I should ask him. I'm like, yeah, right. So that was the official meetup where, you know, I've met him and all of that. We speak for a bit. But of course, he didn't know I was with the person I was dating then. He didn't know. And he was... How can my... No. Don't mind him. How come... No. How could he have left me?
No, I broke your heart. How long before? That time now.
Don't mind him. So no.
You finish, I'll go to
Don't mind him. Look, nobody was leaving me. No, I was with somebody else. The person was there. You met me. I took the number. Yes, it's true. Between the time that we took exchange numbers and we finally met up, it could have been a year.
Yeah. Yeah, about
I'm sweating.
Yeah, about a year.
Yeah. Oh, so what's my course? So say you makeup.
Yeah. Like I said, you know.
Yeah, it took about a year between the time we met and when we finally, you know, hooked up, and then, you know, I went to see him for the first time. It took about a year. But yeah, so basically that was it. I took his number and then we just kept in touch. They're very sporadic. It wasn't like something frequent at all until the fateful day when I called and Oak picked up the phone. Oak Stone in a far call. You're making it seem like I knew. I didn't know. So those were the days I would do my nails. I went to do my nails. I come back. No, actually, I'm at the nail place and I'm thinking there's so much traffic going back to Legon. Well, Reggie has been bugging me and calling me. Let me call and see. Maybe I could pass this place. So I called. Oak picked up the phone. And so I was like, okay, don't worry. I'll just tell Reggie Zilla called. The next thing I could see, the call is, if somebody's calling back, I pick up. No, I'm here. You can come. Then I met up with him, and then that was it.
Wow. So, Zilla, I want to hear from you when and how our own grandpapa did the proposal.
He did no such thing.
No. Romantic,
it wasn't not necessarily romantic. No. That thing is no. But that thing is all a fairy tale. Oh, propose. Nah. It happened. What is that?
Like, we already having sex.
They woke up. But who says those who propose they're not already having sex?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying at the time.
I'm just saying, it wasn't that. Look, it wasn't that fairy tale or that, whatever. No. It happened. It happened. We were there, and it happened. It continued.
Time buying na moya manyu say they will be able doing there some of the another level. At which point?
I think it's when you got pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, already. This human being we was getting along, and then she's pregnant, and if you kiss you, you know. Exactly. Yeah. Side,
another thing.
Yeah, but side, for life. Yeah, I guess from that angle, but it wasn't an issue.
Okay.
It wasn't one of them things where you're like, nah, I don't want to be with you. So we just, you know, we literally just presented it to the people who were of importance.
And you went to Golu.
And I went to Golu. We didn't Golu.
Golu, I go Golu that. There be another.
Golu.
Oh,
my hometown, it's like close to the border. It's like
okay.
It's close to the border of Burkina Faso.
Into Reggie, Zilamu year,
that was sorry, it's 2004.
2004.
Yes.
Wow.
But we had, been together.
Yeah. Yes.
But hey, Golu, of course.
My member Golu story, so Zila. Where are you from? I understand your father is former President Liman. Give us a little background.
Of him, me, or where we are from?
Because he comes in when you're talking about yourself. Yeah.
Well, I'm number 6 in the 7 children line.
Okay.
There's just one after me.
Okay.
Yes, so Dr. Ila Liman is my dad, former president of Ghana. Yeah, we come from the Upper West region, Gulu, all the way, like close to Burkina. Actually, our relatives are in Burkina. It's like, literally, it's like 30 minutes drive to Burkina, really.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And, well, I mean, people do like to think that, hey, former first family, or former first family, president, please, we were just regular people. We grew up like you, him, everybody.
Very
in fact, we were it's not like we were living a sheltered or pampered life. Life was hard. But hey, God works in mysterious ways. Yes, he was a dadabi, a pampered. Sometimes some of the things I'm like, oh, this was a dadabi life. A jabba. Number 1. Serious training. Yes, that's what's up.
So Zila, I was growing up like senior kind of president, first family. How was growing up like? Because I'm sure that just also what tasty fame, public life near the
Actually, no, we didn't. I didn't taste any fame. I was born in the castle.
Okay.
And then there was a coup.
Oh, yeah.
So there's nothing like fame. There was no enjoyment. There was nothing. And I know, right? And then we came out of that into hardship, like really. So my dad, everything of his was seized. I mean, he was under house arrest for a couple of years. We didn't know whether he would come out alive or not, and all of that. But of course, his integrity, honesty, everything, they couldn't find anything against him. So he came back out, but then he's in that space because for a long time I didn't understand why my dad was always home and he wasn't working like everybody else. So I asked him sometime, and he said, when you've attained the highest position in the land, you can't just get up and do any job at all. And unfortunately for him, his assets, everything was seized. Wow. It's not like he owned much anyway. It's not like now that you get to amass a lot. No, the even little he had, as my mom says, she says when my dad wasn't president and he was working in foreign affairs, we were way better off than when he became president. And afterwards, he was full of suffering. And then immediately afterwards, when we were very little, she would always say we lived off the goodwill of our friends because it was like total neglect. And so my upbringing was very, in as much as you would think it's a pampered, no, it was very, so my mom did tie and dye, and that's what took all of us to school. And guess what? It's just as well she had all of us because we were the working force. At any given moment, there was maybe a cousin or 2 in the house, so it was like 7 or 8 kids in the house, and we did the work. I hated it then. I didn't understand. But I didn't have a choice. This is what you have to do. You have to wake up early morning, do your tie and dye. But our whole vacation is spent, people are traveling. Actually, I didn't even know people traveled until I went to university. Seriously, I didn't know. Tie and dye, straight up. Wow. We are lucky to have evening where you are going to visit your friends and, stuff like that. It was the whole tie and dye story and home discipline and stuff like that. But that is what we knew. So we loved it. It was fun for us. We didn't know any better until secondary school, primary school. Initially, we went some Saito school in the area. Before the house got burnt, we moved to cantonments, and that's when we went to Soul Clinic. A little bit of enlightenment, and even that, it wasn't.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. She went to Soul Clinic. I went to Soul Clinic.
He went to Soul Clinic. Yeah, I know, right? How many years after?
Secondary. I went to Achimota.
I know.
I was in McCarthy House. She was in McCarthy.
Yeah, where McCarthy was with the girls. I know, it's very ironic, and this is years later. Yeah. So I don't know, it was just, it was SS, secondary school. That's when people would make assertions as to, oh, yeah, the ex-presidents, whatever, so people are rich, and people, I'm still looking at them like, what are you talking about? Rich where? Do rich people, you guys, when you see their chop boxes, just thinking, how do people get to bring all of this? Me, that things are very limited, and, And they used to think that we were joking and we are lying I gave up fighting the I just okay, whatever you want.
Trying to play humble and
yeah, that's what I'm like. This is us, and that's how we were raised.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your dad. When you were speaking, you mentioned the fact that Obrebe and some Ghanaians even think he was not treated well as Hilali man ba. Then I become for the way Ghana for a papa, and then how Ghanaians. If you appreciate some of the man crying, the way I saw Mubunu near the other, then I'll become fair. No, what would you say?
Well, I think it's very much underappreciated, but then that's also because the knowledge is so limited. They don't seem to know much about my dad and what he did. Even me, I think I don't even know enough because I wasn't old enough. I wasn't old enough to, at the time, I was in secondary school when he died. But at that time, my interest hadn't yet blossomed to know exactly what happened and all the details, you know. I think I was just getting into that era or that stage when he died. But then knowing what I know now, it was very underappreciated. But then I found out later on that after the coup happened, it appears there was a deliberate attempt to wipe off everything he did. Wow. Or everything, yeah. So even looking for stuff on him is very hard. It's very, very hard finding things about my dad. It was, I guess, because it was a coup, they sort of wiped out a lot of things. But then, for what he stood for, he said his ideology is Ghana. So for him, anything Ghana, it didn't matter what it was Ghana, and that is how he thought, and that was what his vision. So people do not know what, and he actually did quite a bit in his time, you know. So he took over at a very turbulent time when the economy was really bad, and in his time, he did, in the 2 years that he was there, he did quite a bit, and he was able to start turning around the economy. But I guess Rollins, in that state, in that hot-headed element, you know, state felt that, hey, things are happening too slow. But sometimes you need to put the building blocks properly, you know. And for a fact, there are a lot of projects that he undertook, which of course, no credit was given to my dad, but there were things that my dad started. But of course, because it wasn't democratically handed over, those things were not, it's like today, it wasn't acknowledged. So he just did those things and ran with it, and probably didn't do some of them properly, but nonetheless, did whatever it is and then went with it. So I just think it's a whole lot of ignorance. People do not know, and the fact that a lot was sheltered. You only hear, oh, he was the president of the, you know, Third Republic. He was there for 2 years, ousted in a coup, and then that was it. But he actually did. And sometimes I actually think, and you wonder why God acts or does things the way he does. Yes, they say he's the sovereign God. You cannot question his ways. His ways are not our ways. But sometimes you can't help but think, because this is a good man, and there's a lot of good things that he wanted to do. Clean. And why didn't he let him actualize? I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have turned out the way. Maybe I would have been in some, maybe things, I don't know. It all
happened for a reason.
It all happened for a reason.
So how difficult or easy was it moving from the daughter of an ex-president to marry one of Ghana's biggest stars? How was that?
So it was very easy. I told him that this one, it wasn't new to me. Because in as much as we didn't grow up with some airs and, oh, my dad was the president, but we were still very, we saw every time we went out with him, people waving, especially in Teshinungwa, because Teshinungwa, everybody knew him in his old beat-up car, people waving and stuff like that. So we're kind of used to that kind of life, like there's someone people know, a popular person, fame. So meeting with, like hooking up with Reggie, and it wasn't totally new to me because it's something that I was used to. I was born like it was part of that thing. No. But then it's same. You go out and people are always. But then I was used to that because every time we went out, people are always greeting and they are similar. So my dad wasn't that kind of person who has some airs around him that you can't go. No, everybody can go shake. It's just like Reggie. Talk to him. He's ready to teach. If you bring yourself right now, they'll start teaching you right now. So he was that kind of person, you know, always ready to teach, always ready to help you. Very open, an open book.
Okay,
you know.
So your career, tell us about it. I know you're a doctor, but why did you even decide to go into that profession in the first place? And how can you even combine that with rap? How? Tell us about
that is the special me. That is the me. Not everybody can be me. This is me. Yeah. I know. You know that thing. You are growing up. You are a pretty brilliant student. So it was those days. Science was a natural part. If you are blowing in school, then do science. So it just happened. You know, after primary school, you know, in Motown. I did science, and so when you do science at that time, you're thinking, oh, should you do pharmacy, should you do medicine? And so I was torn between the two. And finally, I said that nobody, mind you, I wasn't forced. My parents didn't force any of us to do
your own decision.
No, your own decision. But it's just that I had done science all my life, and I didn't realize that. It was until I went to uni that I realized that, oh, I could have switched if I wanted to. I was actually quite hurt. I didn't know that. I was like, oh gosh, I would have switched from science. But
what would you have switched to?
I think business.
Okay.
I always said I would have done business. I always said, and I didn't. If I had known in that first 1 or 2 weeks when we were loitering around and registering and stuff, I would have chosen. I didn't know. I found out later, and I was so sad. Okay. But in any case, I did science, and so naturally it was the science field, and so I said, okay, I'll do medicine. And that's the time I met Reggie.
So where did you practice? How many years?
So I trained in Kolebu.
Okay.
Then I did my house job. I did 1 year in 37. And I did 1 year at Reggie. Wow. Yes, and then I decided to opt out of Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service. I actually wrote to them. I said, please don't pay me before you tell me I'm chopping your money. But then I'll do my own thing, you know, my own little private, whatever, you know, MO here and there. And then, but at that time, we had also acquired Rockstone's office. Yeah. And so during my house job, it was Rockstone's office full-time and house job. It was crazy. And house job is like slavery, where you work 48 hours and things straight up. I'll finish that and I'll be coming here, you know, back and forth. And so after 2 years of house job, I decided that, you know what, this is where my money is at. This is where I'm making probably sometimes 10 times my monthly salary over there in a day here. So why don't I come in?
So whose idea was the Rockstone's office? Whose idea was it? Reggie. Okay.
And I must say, initially I was against it.
You was, right?
Yeah, I didn't kind of like the idea because Reggie already come out already. Every day he's going out. I mean, I was a party girl, you know, and then I felt like, hey, now we are coming to own it, then we die finish. This one, I'll see you again. So he literally had to convince me, and then. Yeah, blah blah blah. Because that's the glow time. He had come into glow money. Meanwhile, he was chopping the money. Reggie can spend. Reggie, if Reggie has money and you know and you see him, you are in heaven.
So
unless you don't need or you don't come and give him some story. Thank you. So as I saw the way the money was finishing, then I said, no, we have to do something. And so I guess, and finally I figured that, well, if he's going to go, he'll go out anyway, and you hang out all the time. It might as well be to his own place, and you know, blah, blah, blah. And then that's how it all started. And, you know.
So how have you been able to combine marriage to a star, taking care of your kids?
No, who is star?
Who fear the So let me take it again. How have you been able to combine all these very difficult things? Taking care of your kids as a mother, taking care of business, because every time I come here, you are the one in charge here.
I'm telling you.
And then getting married to a very attractive and busy, popular person like Reggie Rockstone.
Attractive.
Well, the interesting thing is, I guess that's why people thought we would get along. It probably has to do with my personality and the fact that we are very compatible. And my nature, by nature, I'm pretty trusting. I'm very, very trusting. I'm not the jealous kind, the wary type. Mr. Jealous is sitting here. I am not that kind of person, okay? So for me, him being Reggie Rockstone, a star, people all around, women and all of that, it has never been a problem for me at all. That aspect, forget it. But for me, look at you. That has never been a problem. And then, of course, as I told you, I've always been a party girl. So that one too wasn't difficult. That's me. I used to go out all the time. So doing this wasn't that difficult. You know, the kids side, I mean the family side wasn't the easy side, because to finish and go home in the morning and they have those days Ricky will come. Mommy, and he'll be opening my eyes and I'll be so sleepy. I'll be so sleepy. I remember, but we've got a very supportive family. Okay. His mom is there, my mom is there, my siblings. Yeah. They've always been very, very supportive. His siblings. So there's at any given time, there's been, if we are hot and we need to send the kids, there's always somewhere to send the kids. So yeah, to my mom. So it's that side has really helped us. But I mean, apart from that, I've always been an outing girl. So it's actually this COVID era has been the first time that I'm actually, like, after a couple of days, I'm like, wow, I haven't stepped out of the house for like 2 days. No, it doesn't happen.
You couldn't believe?
No, it doesn't, because I'm always up and about, you know. So it wasn't even an issue, you know.
Let's come to the girls. I know Reggie Rockstone is a ladies' man, a man feeling. How do you deal with that? Because more joints are man baha. I go have a Reggie gate. I just say, oh no, welcome. Hot. So how are you able to? I know the girls will come at him. How are you able to deal with it?
You know the first thing. Sometimes I don't even know they are coming at him. That's the first thing.
How?
That's just not me.
But in saying that, you need to explain something to him that I have a lot of female friends.
Yes.
A lot of my friends are female.
Okay, but it's true. But you know what the key is? I have a lot of male friends. I've always been the boys girl.
No, both boys.
Right from primary school to second, you will not catch me with girls. No. You always catch me with boys. I'm the one doing the connection. I'm chilling with. I get along with boys a lot. And most of these guys, or almost all of them, are just friends, regular friends. Yeah. So I was able to relate to the fact that Reggie also has female friends, because I have regular male friends and I get along with them. So he has, female. So he has, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm not thinking bad or thinking that, oh, what's he doing with this girl? Because I have tons of male friends. Of course, he was having issues with that. So I have to start cutting down. I had to start cutting down mine, you know. But nonetheless, I didn't have those. And of course, he also, in as much as he has all those female friends, there's always that gap, or that, you know.
I've been popular for many years from Nkonkonsa. And yes, I respect women, I appreciate women, I get along with women. At 20, I know my papa fashion. Me feel beautiful women. So I'm not, you know, I've always been, and I appreciate women. I could compliment a woman and say she's beautiful. Oh, look at her ass. Oh, she's cute. Or she got. But
and it will not bother me. Actually, I would say, hey, you didn't tell me. You didn't let me look like you were looking. You didn't tell me. You know,
I mean, if I see a hot girl, I tell my wife, look.
Yeah. I'm just not that kind. I'm not built that way to be jealous and to be no. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes he would come and tell me, hey, this person has sent this, this person says, and this person says. I can't be bothered. You know, if he doesn't tell me, cool. If he does, cool.
Okay. You also have a beautiful wife. When I look at all these other women, and then I look at my wife, and people don't understand. A physical attribute is different from a wholesome woman.
Yeah.
You know, this is somebody that you lay next to, you fight with, you make love to, you go through the hustles with. It's different from just looking at some tits and ass. You know, that's for young folks. So yes, you can look, point, and be a man, but then to be male, really, it's about your
home.
Yeah. So it's different.
Okay.
You know, but that man, I'm feeling my wife.
Every time you guys are together doing business, we see you here, but you know social media, sir. Now my phone also they always say, hey, yeah, not just a couple goals, no more to share videos near there. Why don't we see Reggie Rockstone and Zilla doing that?
I am that guy.
What doing what? What happens on social media?
Like putting your
they don't see a lot of couples things on social media. Well,
but you post a lot about.
Okay.
I actually have a lot. I go out and people know me from social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they see me and they, oh, I know you, or you look familiar. You look like Reggie Rockstone. I'm like, really?
It's just done tastefully.
Okay.
You know,
no, but then also apart from that, I'm not big on social media.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't really do social media. Okay. So I guess maybe if I was, I'll be more like, oh, let's put it up. But I'm not. I'm not big on social media.
So he's
maybe
the one
that
doing it more.
Yeah. That's his life. Me, I'm not.
Charlie, I love it.
I'm not on
social media. I think make you free.
Okay. So say baby, with you as a celebrity couple, I'll go to both of you. What would you tell Reggie, especially? What would you tell your fans and people who are looking up to you to have a nice family, a nice wife, and a business like this? Then I will catch the number 4 my banner of fans.
Empire ball.
Okay.
First, prayers.
Okay.
And my wife will tell you, marriage is no easy. You see how they sit here, they talk.
Nice.
It's made the face so dark. Yeah, face so I never knew. You know, you see her character, you see her personality,
hard
fiery.
Hard
and you see how I am.
Yeah.
So imagine, say
but
my boss. And so far, my boss is me.
Wow.
Wow. What's the matter? Me give me who hey, my friend. What's the matter? Then you find who naked, you know. You know. So in saying this, but she's a nice human being, you know. So it's work. She'll tell you, and we have had our ups and our downs, and we've been together how long? You know, we're about to head in 1920. We're on our way.
Wow.
And yeah, easy. If you move, Charlie, one moon cry. What's the matter?
Okay.
So she'll tell you, you know, and like she says, I'm not a quitter. And you'll be a started you know, take it to the end. And then I guess in deep in her heart, she knows the goodness in my heart. You know, I'm a good human being.
Okay.
I have flaws, but I'm a good human being. So,
Reggie, do you have regrets? Have you done anything ever in life that you regret?
I wish I had registered the words hip life.
Okay.
You know, no, not really. No.
Okay.
I totally, honestly believe that everything happens for a reason.
Okay.
If I had never come home, life would have never started. If I hadn't rapped in Crete, you know.
How would Reggie Rockstone want to be remembered if he's gone?
I don't think I have a choice how I will be remembered. I'll always be remembered for the musical side of things. But I'll also be remembered as a really funny guy, a jovial dude, very open, fashionable, of course, and overall, a good human being. Yeah.
Okay. Zilla, how what advice would you give to young people who are married to celebrities, women who are even I almost say what stars, I almost fair. They want to know how you did it. Or people who are already in, what would you tell them? From the wife's point of view.
All that glitters is not gold. Know the inside before. But I mean, really, yeah, so for them, they are just looking at the star, they're starstruck, they're looking at all of that. But it's not about that. It's about compatibility. Are you compatible? Do you get along? Do you love the person or like the person, want to be with the person because of what they have or because of their fame or because of how you really feel about the person? So that's even a starter. And then the next thing, as Reggie said, I always say, this marriage shit ain't easy. It's a hard job. It's like work in progress every day. And every stage, every step comes with its own challenges, comes with its own ups and downs. But it's what you do of it and how you make the most of it, that's what's important. And as he says, you don't just give up just like that. You need to, you know, follow through and persevere. It's hard work. It doesn't happen naturally. You need to put in work to make it happen.
Okay. Now, watch it.
Hey, watch it.
Hey, look at that. So we've got. Please, let me start my hello, people.
Hello, people. Mama did.
No, but seriously, so hello, people.
Hello.
So yeah, we can't end without talking about the Wache. So the Wache now, so COVID had to, you know, turn things around, but they say everything happens for a reason.
We're so
and
blessed.
I know it's going really well.
Turn this way.
Thank you. It's now Monday through to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Not 8 p.m. please. Those who have been calling me at midnight looking for Wache. It's now 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and now we do deliveries. We do deliveries. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now.
And if you are lucky, I will deliver to you.
Yep.
Yes.
You just might.
Yeah.
So would you want to put any number out?
Oh yeah. So the numbers to call 0244 676742 and 0244 797911. Yes, those are the numbers.